Who would have thought that Jeff the Land Shark, Marvel's pint-sized, fantastic mascot of cuteness, would end up being the most fearsome predator in the ocean? Seriously, Marvel Rivals players despise this little guy with the heat of 1,000 suns. And for good reason. This dude makes Jaws look like freaking Nemo with how much players fear him. But despite countless broken keyboards and game uninstalls, Jeff remains one of the most lovable and outright fun characters in the game. But the question is, how well does Marvel Rivals capture the true essence of Jeff the Land Shark from his comic book roots? Is he the same lovable land shark we know and adore, or has the game given him a whole new bite? Hi, I'm Socks, and today we are discovering how lore accurate Jeff the Land Shark is in Marvel Rivals. Alright folks, here's how we're gonna break it down. I got 3 categories on deck: character design, voice acting and sound, and movement and gameplay. Each category gets a score out of 5, and we'll average them out at the end just to see how true Marvel Rivals Jeff is to his comic book roots. Now, these are just my opinions, so if you disagree, feel free to drop your hot takes in the comments. And if you're just nodding along, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Before we dive into the review, let's take a quick swim through Jeff's comic book origins. Where did this little guy come from, and how did he win our hearts before stealing our wins in game? Jeff the Land Shark made his first appearance in West Coast Avengers issue 7, which was published on January 23rd, 2019. Created by writer Kelly Thompson and artist Daniela Di Nicuolo. This little goober is Marvel's ultimate chaos nugget, a genetically engineered land shark created by MODOK to terrorize the world, but ended up being too adorable for evil. Jeff was rescued by Gwenpool and became her playful sidekick with a puppy-like energy. After some mischievous adventures, Gwenpool left the West Coast Avengers, entrusting the baby boy with none other than Deadpool. Because who better to handle a mischief-making land shark than the merc with the mouth? Jeff's personality is pure joy. He's brave, loyal, and always up for an adventure. He may not talk, but this tiny shark speaks volumes with his big heart and hilarious antics. Character design. Jeff wasn't always that cute little round boy we know today. His original depiction was actually this little derpy shark with legs, which is cute in its own way, I guess. It wasn't until the Japanese illustration duo Girahiru worked on It's Jeff, a comic book series in 2021, that gave Jeff his now iconic look, which I believe Rivals took the most inspiration from. And Marvel Rivals does an excellent job of adding just enough detail to fit him well with the rest of the cast, while keeping that simple, tiny shark design. Honestly, I think Rivals might even have a better version of him, with that puppy dog color with his name on it, and oh shit, dude, is that some motherfucking Toby? Sorry, won't curse. The devs knew what they were doing when selling this character to a broader audience. They took all the qualities that made Jeff's design great in the comics and leveled them up for the game. 5 out of 5. Voice acting and sound. In the comics, Jeff doesn't talk, but instead makes little noises to signify what he's feeling. So Rivals could save a lot of money just getting anyone off the street, right? Nope, they got John Bailey to be the voice of Jeff. Yes, that John Bailey, who voices Soundwave from Transformers and every honest trailer video you've ever seen. Never really thought John Bailey had the range to play a cute little critter, but this dude aces it. It's really the little things that sell me on the sound design. Whether it be the Jaws theme song when he's swimming around, or the little hiccups he has when he puts down the healing bubbles. My biggest gripe is and it's more of like a gameplay thing, but his ultimate sound needs to be louder. Like seriously, how am I supposed to hear that little gurgle noise he does when I have the Winter Soldier screaming, "Again!" The answer is no, I'm not supposed to hear him, and there has been too many games I lost because of it. Fix this, Rivals, please. Regardless, I think Marvel Rivals knocked it out of the park with these sounds and voices. There isn't much to compare to, as Jeff hasn't really been in other forms of media besides comics and that motion comic in 2023. But if you asked me what a land shark would sound like, this is exactly it. 5 out of 5. Movement and gameplay. I never get tired of that little waddle he does as he makes his way to lay waste to my entire team and happiness. For a character who doesn't engage in combat in comics, I can imagine designing his abilities was a bit of a challenge. His main moves in game, Joyful Splash, Healing Bubble, and Aqua Burst, aren't exactly things we've seen him do in the source material. When he was first announced, I wondered why they made him a dedicated healer, but then it clicked. He brings joy to others, and that joy is what heals them. Seriously, tell me you don't feel good when you see this boy. Go ahead. fell to his face. His mobility skill, hide and seek, might be a reference to the first issue in his solo series, It's Jeff, where he swims through a pool of a bunch of Marvel characters. But that's also just something that like sharks do, so I won't give him too much credit for that one. But the most spot-on ability in Jeff's kit is Oblivious Cuteness, which reduces critical hit damage by 50%. In comics, Jeff is, well, let's just say he's not the brightest bulb. Translating that personality into his kit is absolutely hilarious. But now, let's talk about his ult. Jeff's ultimate is a real double-edged sword. When you're on the receiving end, it's like reliving that scene in Finding Nemo where the Barracuda kills Nemo's family. But when your team lands it, it's like pure euphoria, like your favorite football team just scored the game-winning touchdown at the Super Bowl. But in the context of this video, I think it fits him well. The fact that he grows into a giant shark that swallows all the characters is so Looney Tunes-like, which if you read his Infinity comics is very reminiscent of that kind of comedy. NetEase had plenty of creative freedom in designing Jeff's gameplay, but the lack of comic references made it tough to stay true to his lore. Unfortunately, I will give him a 2 out of 5 for this one. Jeff the Land Shark is a tidal wave of charm. Although he was an unexpected addition to a competitive online shooter, I think Marvel Rivals hit the nail on the head designing the goodest boy who gives out the best heals and receives all the pets. His look and sounds of the comic pages come to life, and even though his kit is different from what he does in the comics, this has been a solid first adaptation of Jeff in other forms of media. And I'm sure after they nerf his ultimate, more people, including myself, are going to fall in love with this little guy. Jeff the Land Shark is pretty lore accurate with a score of 4 out of 5. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It was so much fun to learn more about Jeff as he's such a recent character in Marvel history. And if you want to learn more about him as well, check out It's Jeff, the comic series, which is just these short little vertical comic strip akin to something like Garfield. And please, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and comment below if you want to see more videos like this on other Marvel Rivals characters. Until next time, fair winds and safe travels.